Today, Woodrow Wilson Wagner II joins us in studio. He is running for City Council District 3 in the May 4th election. 25 News Now anchor Don Brubaker has more.
All right, Karina, thank you. And welcome back to your home away from home.
Thank you, Don. It's good to be with you once again.
How unusual is it for you to be here this time as a candidate?
Yeah, it's a little strange. It's a little different, but I am very comfortable talking about my candidacy, and y'all have been so kind to give me this opportunity. Thank you, Don. Really appreciate it.
Why do you want to run for Victoria City Council?
Don, I think first and foremost, as you know, I was born and raised in Victoria. I was born and raised with a servant's heart, and I want to give something back to this wonderful community that you and I have gotten to know. I want to give something back to that community. Don, it was 33 years ago, believe it or not, that I sat in this very studio with you on a program called Friday Night Gridiron after a St. Joe football game, and you interviewed me. And what you don't know is the next morning, I had to get up early and go with my parish priest, Father Donald Rupert, to Christ's Kitchen to do a community service project. And so when I say servant's heart, this is something I've been doing my whole life. It's not a campaign slogan. It's not a gimmick. That's who I am. And now I want to be that person who represents the very good people of District 3 to represent their Christian, conservative values in City Council. That's why I'm running.
Mm-hmm. You've talked to possibly your constituents, if you're elected, in District 3. What's been the back and forth like?
What I've been hearing from constituents is that they're much more interested in potholes than they are politics. All this talk about who's more conservative, who's more this, who's more that, they want to know who's going to fix those potholes. When I walked around with residents of Tonto Circle, for 30 years they haven't had those potholes fixed. When I walk around with residents of Millette Drive and Glasgow Road, they've been waiting and waiting and waiting for a long-term fix. So that's what they're concerned about. We've got people on Spokane Avenue who every time it rains and flood have to deal with sewer water as a river that goes down their driveway. That's what they're concerned about. And of course, everybody wants to have the best public safety we can. And what that means, Don, is that we navigate through the bureaucracy, cut the red tape, and find the money we need to pay our firefighters, our first responders, and our police so they'll want to make their home right here in Victoria. That's what's on people's mind. They're less concerned about who's Democrat, who's Republican, who's this, who's that. They want somebody that's going to help them and their lives right now. And I think I can be that person of action.
Well, if elected, how would you as a city council member cut through all that red tape and help your constituents?
Absolutely. It starts with having collaboration and communication with our city manager and our city staff. Running the government, Don, is not the same thing as running a business. You can't just make unilateral decisions. You can't just hire and fire people. You have to cooperate. You have to do it very transparently. Case in point, for the last few years at UHV, I've managed a $2.3 million Title III grant. And I also was helpful with our president and our provost create and then market and then get approved our $3 million program for aviation. So that's $5.3 million I helped bring to UHV that they didn't know or have before. That's what I mean by navigating bureaucracy. Find the money, cut the red tape. It's out there, Don, if you can just find it. And for the past several years, I found that for UHV, $5.3 million. And I think I can do the same thing on our city council.
All right. We thank you so much for coming by. We always appreciate it.
Thank you, Don. And bring back Friday Night Gridiron. People love that.
I don't do sports anymore, but I will talk to our people and see what we can get on that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And Karina, back to you.
Don, thank you. Of course, you can vote at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A. Early voting hours are this week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The polls open next Monday and Tuesday from April 29th and 30th. Those hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.